specify how many people are.
What's happening, patrons? How you guys doing?
There we go. He said that Jag expands around 10,000 gold farming related accounts daily.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Daily.
Daily. Wait a minute. Whoa. Daily. Now let's think about the maybe monthly RMT ban reports that we get from FF14 that are like...
I remember one time they reported, like...
No, they do it semi-regular.
Do they?
Sometimes, yes.
Because as much as they like
but the thing is,
their updates, I guarantee you they would tell us anything.
The thing is though is remember the numbers that they would present. It would be like 1,500. Yeah, it would be pathetic. So
10,000 a day. Now, RuneScape at this point, I mean, that's just you just download the client, right? That's
right. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can play it mobile now.
Probably.
Yeah.
So
can I play it on Netscape stuff.
Oh my god, that's the classic way to play RuneScape.
That's the only way I play.
Can Netscape even still function?
I have
download
no
Netscape?
idea.
No, I mean it's a long dead program. Long dead, long unsupported.
Yeah,
I think if you
find a download link to a Netscape,
I don't know. That's
I feel like if you did, you would instantly just have viruses all over.
I think
computer.
you'd have to.
No security on it.
You would have to run like Windows 98. Jesus. All right, so Patreons, hi. So we've got currently a proposal that is sitting on our Patreon page that we want your input on. So the suggestion is that because the overall total on Patreon has been shrinking, and because sustaining 3 hours worth of conversation every week about FF14 also seems just purely unsustainable, we're considering dropping the show from a 3-hour runtime to a 2-hour runtime.
Yeah. Something else I'd like to note too is that when our Patreon was down to let's say 17, 18, 17, hovering in there, we had decided to use the Twitch streaming bonus, which was going to whoever streamed the most during the month, to offset that cost. Right. We're now at the point now with I think almost 1,500 that technically even the streamer bonus isn't getting us to our 2,000 minimum.
Right. However, Checkpoint is starting to bring in money to replace that a little bit. So they're, in terms of being able to have an operational budget, we are functioning. Right. So, but the thing is that it becomes a little bit more dicey now that we're, kind of stitching funding methods together to keep the wheels on. It was a lot easier to get to encourage people to stream when they knew that they were competing for a streamer bonus.
Right.
That's that, and our various schedule conflicts and adjustments have been, part of the reason that you haven't seen as much uptime on the Twitch stream as we normally do.
Yep.
Another big component of that too is that, we're fundamentally, as a production crew, we're not Twitch streamers. That's one of the things that people really, have to keep in mind and remind themselves if they're frustrated that we're not streaming. We are fundamentally, our mission statement at the core of our company is to create creative audio content. Whether it's for radio, whether it's for podcasting, it is not Twitch streaming. That's just kind of a bonus that we do to be able to connect with our audience and to have fun, because it's fun for us. It's fun. It's fucking fun to Twitch stream.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is that when we don't have time to devote to it and we get feedback like, oh, well, you guys are Twitch streaming a fourth of what you used to, that's difficult for us to kind of, square that circle, because it's like, well, that's not really what we do.
It's fun to do, but it's the first thing on the chopping block when time gets tight.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
Callie, you used to come home all the time and like stream at like midnight.
I used to stream 5 nights
2 a.m. Yeah, and now you have to come home from work and work on Checkpoint.
Yeah.
Well, I used to
yeah.
stream 5 nights a week, but at that time, FEC was monthly.
Yep.
LBR was not weekly. Checkpoint did not exist. I was not dating. Like, there's a lot of different things at that time, and those have all changed.
Yeah.
It's like that time to stream 5 nights a week. Now it's like, oh, or I could actually be awake at work tomorrow.
Right. So, while I don't want people to, worry about the status of the company, I do think that we're at the point where we have to explore some options, specifically about content. I mean, last week, dude, we ran out of shit. We straight up ran out of shit at like the 2:15 mark.
Yep, pretty much, and we had to pad out about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That sucks. We don't like doing that.
I hate doing that. And I just feel like if, Stormblood is, and 4.1, we've been saying it forever, we would know where we're going at 4.1.
And we know.
And we have I think we have a great indication now, and I just think that, 3 hours every week about a game that's not supporting us with content like that, I can't see it.
14 has never been more on rails than
When we get a big patch or something, sure, it's easy to do 3 hours. And as Callie has pointed out in conversations we've had before, when we first started doing LBR Weekly, the plan was a 2-hour show.
Right.
But because of our passion, how much content we had to talk about, it
ended up
naturally
being
spilt
3.
over into 3 hours. And
Right.
now, because it was always 3 hours, we just aimed
Now
for
we're
3
trying
hours.
to stretch to 3.
Exactly.
And people complain when it's not 3. People complain when it's 2:45.
Yes, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. And I don't know if they're doing it ironically. They might be.
It's a possibility.
I
I
don't hold it against. Like, fine, if it's a joke, it's a joke. I can roll with the punches. Whatever. I don't give a shit. But like, if that's the genuine feeling that, and dude, I've had to back off of reading the fucking YouTube comments, and I gave them to Skuro. I said, dude, you've got to, you are spearheading our YouTube page, because I just can't fucking do it anymore. Like, I can't.
I don't know how you did it as long as you did. Like, it was like the second time we ever read YouTube comments where I'm just sitting like, why are you doing this to yourself?
Well, you do it ironically, right?
No,
You don't actually give them...
even ironically, you can only like ironically stare at cancer for so long before you start coming down with it.
That's how cancer works.
That is how cancer works.
See,
now,
for me,
Yeah, it's spread visually.
yeah.
For me, the biggest thing in what really
Ocular cancer.
what really stunts any type of motivation that I do have is like, when I sit down to do the outline for the week, and I've come up with, again, 3 hours worth of content, I think, all right, we just had a major patch. We have nothing to talk about now, and our next major patch isn't coming till February?
Yeah.
Oh, well, hold
4 months?
on. We do have
12
Super Ultimate
weeks?
Great Mode Bahamut mode coming out.
So we gotta do 12 3-hour episodes about what?
And that's the problem. I have no idea.
When I feel like I actually get more anxiety and feel like it's more work doing LBR than Checkpoint.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Checkpoint, at the end of the day, there's like 20 different esports you can follow. There is news somewhere. There is something to talk about somewhere.
Yeah. And
LBR does not have that.
And in fact, there's a lot of community members that have moved on. Joe's moved on. Mr. Happy's kind of moved on. There are, not that I can name them off the top of my head right now, but there are some
Podcasts that have shut down.
that actually stopped.
Yeah. So, so that's pretty much where we're at. We're considering knocking down to 2 hours, but we need your input, because you're the guys, you're the people who pay for this. You're ultimately the people who keep the machine fed. So if you have a real problem, and the thing is that we promise we're not going to be dicks about this. We will actually engage. We will actually address your concerns. If you have a real problem with us shrinking down to 2 hours, let us know. We have a post that's currently up on our Patreon page So we want your input. Please let us know. Patreon.com/Limitless Obviously, you know that. There's a thing I want to do today on LBR. And don't let me forget this because I forgot to put it in the outline.
Okay.
But I want to do Jocktober.
Who are we Jocktobering?
We have to make it a volunteer participation Jocktober. So we have to put it out there.
We're announcing that it's
We have to
happening.
put it out there today. Listen, we want to help other FF14 podcasts get better.
Oh boy.
Okay? But it's a trial by fire. You're gonna have to walk over the coals.
You're gonna get burned.
And we're gonna do it on the show. We'll do it next week. Your show is gonna get a ton of exposure. Okay? But it's gotta be voluntary, and if you sign up for it, be
Get
ready.
Prepare yourself.
And
All right. So we should
basically
also-
we get handed an episode next week.
Absolutely. And
Hopefully.
make sure we encourage our listeners to, hey, encourage your favorite FF14 podcast to participate.
Yep.
Okay.
I like
All right.
it.
I'm
I
gonna
like
do
it.
Yeah,
Nice.
and we rely on hopefully peer pressure and people's good sense of humor.
Yep.
I think at least She Heals I Tank
Yeah,
would
they'll get in on
probably
that, yeah.
would probably go for that because he's got a pretty good sense of humor.
I'm sure Athos would probably send us one of his things.
Yeah,
He'll probably do that.
Athos might. I mean, honestly, Happy and Sly might just out
was
of
gonna say,
pure
that's
peer
too
pressure.
I was gonna
know.
say, if no one actually reaches out to us, there are a few people that we could probably go, look, this is what we talked about in the show. Would you be interested in us doing this, just so we can at least deliver on the job?
I think Fusion might let us. Like if we had to ask someone, Fusion would probably be the first person that I go to, because he's at least gotten the joke enough times where I don't think he'd take it personally.
Gotcha.
And we shit on him so often that it's just
Anyway.
like, yeah, it's nothing new. So yeah, I want to put the call out for that, but I guarantee you I'm gonna forget in between shows because I have to leave and go buy marijuana.
We'll put it on the outline.
If absolutely nobody gets, if we get no responses and people say no, don't do that, we could Jocktober one of our earlier episodes.
That
We
is
could Jocktober
also
ourselves,
yes.
yeah.
I think, but if we do that, we have to Jocktober like one of the first 11 episodes.
Right, FF11 episodes.
Yeah,
In
because
fact,
those are rough.
In fact, we should find the first one that Juxta appeared on.
Oh.
It's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Or
We
could
should Jocktober one of our own stuff anyway.
We should.
Like that should be like kind of as
I've
like,
thought about it.
because we're always kind of like, hey, we're also the ones, you know, we can take the shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
I think that doing the first one that you ever popped up on, or doing the Stormblood release, because it was so positive, and like it would be...
You mean the Heaven's Word?
Yeah, sorry, the Heaven's Word release.
Oh man, it was so hard. Oh.
So we talk about how naive these stupid fuckers are? Dumbasses. Don't know what you get yourselves into.
Just to make sure I understand the bit too, like Jocktobering, it's just riffing someone else's content, right?
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
It's
And
like
tearing
it's like
into
a
it, yeah.
roast, sort of like what we did with Daddy of Light.
Okay, yeah.
Daddy of Light was a great example of Jocktobering.
Okay.
But the thing is that I want you guys to watch some Jocktober clips, like sit down, watch some segments, and
You have some in mind that you can post on Facebook or?
there's one that they did, I think, of Mojo in the Morning. So if you want local
great.
context,
Yeah, I'd love that.
that
Because it's an old Opie and Anthony bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but what I want you guys to listen for is sort of like the insights that they're giving about, because the most fascinating part about that is, yeah, it's mean, but at the end of the day, you can pull out real
They're
feedback
mean,
from that.
but they're not wrong.
Like,
type deal.
sort of, yeah, like they point out all of the hackiest, most repetitious stuff that, radio stations do. And it's fascinating because it's radio people talking about radio, right? So we've got to do the same thing where it's podcast people talking about podcasting. So we've got to offer some of the same insights that they do. Like when they talk about, this morning I was listening to one where they were talking, they were listening to some pre-produced bits. And it used to be every different radio show made their own pre-produced bits. And now you can subscribe to something like Prep Burger for $50 a month, where you download it off of an MP3, or, you know, an FTP, and you get exclusive rights in your market, but it's pretty much the same thing from coast to coast. Those are the kind of insights that are interesting for a radio person who's listening to Jocktober going like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? We've got to do the same thing as podcasters who have been doing this for 10 years, listening to podcasting. So one of the things that I went around with the Discord chat about was, they were like, someone in the chat was like, I really like the you know, segments on podcasts like, what are the hosts doing this week in games, because it keeps people honest. And it's like, that's the hackiest shit ever. It was, remember, like,
that's the hackiest shit ever, and we used to do it.
But that's the thing, is that, remember when we were all kind of sitting around and retooling the FF14 show and talking about what worked and what didn't work from the 11 show? That was one of the first things that went. We were like, fuck that, we don't want that.
I mean, can you actually think about how that would have worked in FF14? Like, 14 is not
it would have been fucking awful.
It's not even built for that. It's not, what have you been doing? It's, what was the first piece of tome gear you got?
Yeah.
The reason that it kind of like that it worked in 11 is because there's so much different shit you could do.
This month I'm focusing on Dynamis. This month I'm in Sky.
Right,
yeah.
so many different goals that people had. Like, you know, your OHAD obsession. Like, everyone had like a thing they were aiming for.
But it made this really interesting tapestry of a game.
It did.
Where you know, like, you could, dude, there was so much that we could like make jokes out of or make bits out of.
And everybody was
FF11.
doing something different.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone does the same thing.
Everyone had different goals in 11.
Yeah.
By the way,
grind a cap. That's it.
That reason, keep the hosts honest. Right, because that's the one thing we aren't at Limit Break Radio. We're not fucking honest.
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
Just so you know, I'm totally going to bring up that as a bit on the show today. 100%.
I kind of want to do it now as just
100%.
like a super hacky, super ironic fucking bit. And just fucking lie our faces off. Yeah, guys, it's our rating now. Got into a pug and we actually cleared
do fake personal updates?
2, and 3 savage.
Personal update.
So really, I'm caught up to where Nick is right now, and I didn't even try.
Dude, because that's
Hashtag
one of the
being
best.
honest.
It's funny because like when I was listening to other FF14 shows, because there were several in the run up to relaunching LBR, one of the things that was a commonality among all of them was the personal update segment.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, that is such a hacky piece of shit.
So bad, it's so boring.
Well, it's, you know, doing a personal update is fine when you have something worth updating on. But you don't make it a segment. You're saying this shit happened to me today.
No, even when I'm at my max playtime per week, I personal updates? Are you shitting me? Like, what the fuck would I even have talked about?
No, what I mean to say is, like, you give a personal update when something of importance happens.
Yeah, that's the thing. If something important does happen,
then you title it a
make a
personal
segment out of it.
update. You just say something.
You say, like,
happened.
this shit happened to
Right.
me. Like, that's...
But the way that we used to do it was like, and now
Right.
personal
Right,
updates.
I know.
Like, and it's just like, man, fuck you.
Even at the end of 11, it's like, oh, time for personal updates. Oh, well, I haven't really been doing much of anything because I'm colleging.
Yeah.
It's finals this week. Man, fuck off. I don't want to hear any of this. This is dumb. And it
Good
is.
times.
It is a perpetually dumb segment.
It's so bad.
Alright, I'm gonna go make that Patreon message.
Yeah.
so that we didn't lie. By the way, who ended up? Did Misfits beat STK?
No, it went to 5 games though, so that was incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, they took them to the brink.
Oh,
SKT
good for Misfits. I
Good
mean,
for Misfits. They took them right to the. Right, they were actually up 2-1 in the
I'm not
series.
sure Cloud9 would have been able to do the same thing.
No, Cloud9 took World Elite to the brink. They went to 5 games, but then lost.
God damn it!
Yep, they
Uh-huh.
were out. But
So what's the finals?
Samsung Galaxy, SKT.
Oh, this is sevens. We're coming up on sevens.
Yeah, it's
Okay, sorry.
Samsung Galaxy, SKT, World Elite, and Royal Never Give Up.
Royal Never Give Up?
They got swept.
Oh,
They got
no.
By was it Samsung?
Samsung Galaxy, the other Korean team.
Wow!
The other Korean, and that's like I said on the show. Like Samsung Galaxy's got something to prove. They got a chip on their shoulder, but
But they've been there before, though, right? Like,
Yeah,
haven't
we're
they?
actually on our. I think we're on on path to have a repeat of the finals from last year. I think SKT and SSG was the finals from last year.
I think you're right, but
Wow.
obviously I don't.
Of course, I haven't seen the bracket, so they might be in the same side of the bracket. They might play this week.
Oh. Yeah. So according to Blizzard, OWL teams get to keep all local revenues generated through their home territory. And they'll have a license to operate and monetize up to 5 amateur events in their home territory each year.
Interesting.
I actually think we knew that second part. But the fact that they're not going to take any cut from any local revenue, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, but that, I mean, then they've got to be fast tracking something like getting teams, you know, because like isn't the first season only?
Right. Yeah. Everything's everything's gonna be in Los Angeles. Yeah.
So then they've got to be fast tracking that process.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's smart though because now your team has every incentive to actually start like pushing stuff around your home territory. You know.
Yeah.
They have a new guy who's been answering every morning who's fucking retard.
None of us were into the idea of swapping the Patreon goals, so I'm just not going to include that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't think it was a bad idea. It's a little opportunist.
It is, and I feel like even if we were to gain any momentum from that, I feel like we'd also be losing. So I feel like it'd be like, you know,
We
one step
did
forward,
we did
two
some
step back.
I think we did some serious criticism.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be fair.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, it's a little
Chris,
more
did
capitalist
you
than normal.
read this story that it was from last Thursday? The Hearthstone player waves his hand and sets off controversy. Fucking the dumbest thing. Yeah, so it was in the finals. It was a dude versus a girl, which is I guess the first time that a chick has made it to the finals, right? And basically he had been a pretty even match, and he had to put down Prophet Bellin. and then waved like goodbye to her.
Mhm.
Like, you know, I beat you now, so bye.
Yeah.
Apparently people fucking lost their shit at him because that's like super disrespectful or something. And he's like, no, that's not what I was doing. I was like saying hi to my card. And it's just like, are you fucking, first of all, are you fucking serious?
Like, no, you're not saying hi to your card.
No,
You-
I don't even care about that. I don't care what he was doing.
You didn't say hi to Shadow Reaper Anduin, okay?
Like, how much do we talk about like how esports needs more personality, right?
Mhm.
And what's cool about the way that they do Hearthstone competitive is you're actually sitting across from each other. You can actually see each other, so you can actually
It's almost
have
like it's a real card game.
you can like have some of that playing back and forth. And this guy just fucking waves, and people like jump up his ass about it.
Dude, it's sort of like
It's because it was a girl. That's all it
that
was.
may have been.
Because
And unfortunately, I kind of wonder.
no, there's been more BM bad mannersing during competitions that
Yeah.
have never even like registered on the radar.
See, like what, when guys like are actual dicks, like, you know, years ago, I remember there being the huge controversy about the dude in the FGC who like told some chick that he was gonna rape her, and he's like, oh, you guys, it's just how we talk in the FGC, right?
Yeah.
Like, I get that, okay? But like, we can't just handle every girl that comes in with kid gloves. That's not the way to do it.
I think some shit talking and competitiveness needs to be encouraged.
Oh yeah.
Some.
I'm hoping that Overwatch League starts to see a little bit of that, because I feel like there's a lot of streamers that are being brought back into the fold, and you know, obviously being on stream, I think, helps you to develop your personality around that a little bit.
I think PUBG also has some.
You're right. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Is it Seagull in the Overwatch League?
Yeah, he's on the Dallas Fuel. Niantic says Gen 3 will gradually start around December. I don't like that.
The fact that it took one day to catch them all,
Exactly.
that was disappointing.
Now, granted, it's also double candy.
yeah,
didn't
bonus
happen.
candy,
Yeah.
I get it, but still.
But yeah, no, you're right. Go out one day, boom, I'm done now. And
I
if
didn't
you
even
just,
have to go out.
Yeah, if you just gradually release shit, like that's all it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Each day, people are gonna basically catch like. You
Well,
know,
it's also there was a bonus to Ghost Pokemon. It wasn't even the bonus candy. It was the fact that.
But here's the thing: if you start to gradually release stuff, I feel like, you know, if you're making an announcement like, all right, now these 5 Pokemon are in the game, you put a little bit of a bonus on them.
I mean, not if you're fucking smart, but Niantic is not smart.
Yeah.
If anything, you can make them fucking rarer.
I'll post my fucking Ghost badge. That's the only other thing that I have left to do now.
I can't even care about catching this shit.
I do need to.
I guess I'll catch a Pidgey.
I do need to give a shit about getting right
Entei?
or whatever.
Yeah, when we were out yesterday, nobody was active in the Discord or the Facebook chat.
Yeah.
But the one Raikou or the one Entei that we went to, 15 people showed up.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mariah and I went and hunted our Entei yesterday too. Finally got around to that.
Where did you find people?
We so we drove around Royal Oak for a bit and didn't. We found 2 Enteis there, but no one was at them. And then on our way back, we saw one in Madison Heights, and there was a group of like 8 wrapping up. And they said they just finished. They're like, hey, we're going over to one in Berkeley. If you want to join us, and we hooked up with them. And we caught our Entei.
So you didn't use the Discord at all? You just found
No, I'm not even in the Discord anymore. I got tired of it always bothering me.
You can mute that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I actually just rejoined on my Discord account and had to do that yesterday. Mute fucking
Everything.
Yeah, when it went through like because it expanded out to the Oakland one and then it like contracted again, and I didn't follow it on the second one.
Yeah, I'm trying to, it's so weird, like, I mean, granted it's because I haven't been playing, sure, but like, when we were out and about yesterday, all I had was Pokeballs. No great balls, no ultra.
Yeah,
balls.
my ultra balls were really low.
Yeah, dude.
When we
Actually,
were at-
mine too. Everything is hit except Pokemon.
When we were at PokeFest, dude, I had 300 great balls and 400 ultra balls, and they're gone.
Yeah.
They've really.
Where did they
adjusted
go?
The drop rates for Ultra.
Yeah, I didn't have shit.
Where did they go?
I got my 5 Hoenn Pokemon real quick and
Yeah.
got my
So
Entei.
now I'm trying to like not use Great or Ultra to save them up for Gen 3.
Yeah, I finished my Ghost badge and called it a day.
Dude,
Alright,
there's
there's
not even a lot in Gen 3 that I'm like super psyched about. Like,
I don't know anything. Like, I don't know
Ralts
any
is
Gen 3
cool.
Pokemon.
Just know they all suck.
Ralts is alright. Like I'm sure that getting a Gardevoir is
Yeah.
gonna be kind of cool.
Can't wait for Gaylade.
Well, Gaylade doesn't come for another.
Gaylade.
Doesn't come from another. It comes from a different generation because it
Doesn't
was
matter.
only Gardevoir at first, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't wait for Gaylade.
You just want to make a gay joke.
The
Not gay
Patreon
joke,
post is ready
alright?
to be checked. I just want someone to read it before I post it. And it's just going to the all patrons, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I hatched a Larvitar yesterday too.
Oh yeah.
Yep, but unfortunately the double candy is based on when the egg was generated,
That's
not
all
just
it is.
the event.
Yep.
Wait, what?
That's how it always
yeah,
is. It's when
so
you
I
get the egg.
only got 30 candies.
Dude,
Yeah,
I got
actually-
60.
I know.
But there's no way. There's no way because I've had that egg incubating for a minute. Like, there's no way that I hatched that within when the event started.
That was one of the things I was wondering about, but dude,
Yeah, no,
I
you-
definitely only got 30.
Dude, I think
And
I
prior to that-
a shitload of candy and I got double.
And prior to that, I had hatched a 2K Chansey, which means that it came from the anniversary event when they were putting those in the 2K eggs.
Right.
And that was only 15.
Well, isn't 10 candies the minimum you can get out of a 10K egg?
I have no idea.
So,
I don't
so
know.
you think that the 30
Maybe you
was
just got
the double?
15 and it got doubled.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Because I think I
that's
got 30 and it got double.
Yeah.
And I burned all of those candies, by the way.
Yeah, I had that happen with like a Snorlax.
Well,
when
yeah,
I
when you have
double candy.
300 dust.
My 98 T-Tar is now like 3100.
Nice.
So yeah, I made Katie download the Poke Genie because she has a Tyranitar that she thinks was perfect stats. And I'm like, just 'cause it says all the stuff doesn't actually mean it might be like
Yeah, it
98 or
might be
99. No, it's 100.
She has the perfect one.
She has a perfect Tyranitar.
Nice. Nice. Someone, when we were running around, caught a perfect Entei.
I don't really give a shit. He's a fighter. I have plenty of fighter shit.
Yeah, right.
Is this up here, Nate?
Yes.
Went and saw my friend act in a play the other night.
Oh yeah.
She was in the Laramie Project. That was such a brutal watch.
Really?
It's brutal.
Why?
One of the monologues that I would do for auditions came from the Laramie Project.
Oh God, dude, the scene near the end when they've got the God Hates Fags caster up there. Holy hell! I talked to him afterwards, like that's got to be a brutally difficult scene to play. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, the monologue that I did was the person who discovered, was it Sam Shepard?
Yeah, Matt Shepard.
Yep, Matt Shepard. Yep.
Yeah, no, that scene was brutal.
Well, they might see me smoking pot.
Are you wearing the Mimikyu hat?
Yes. Mariah thought it was dumb. She stuck with her adventurer's hat.
Is it?
Mariah's dumb.
Does that cost coins?
No, it's free.
Oh, I gotta get that.
You already have it.
Oh.
It just is in your
Yeah,
inventory.
it's just there. 9 more ghosts, or 8 more ghosts. No, 9. I can't add it.
Oh, I actually need to add a news story on before we get started. I assume we want to talk about that NeoGaf thing, right? No, I don't know. I'm torn on it because there's like it's literally just starting to break.
Yeah,
And I don't know shit about that website.
I would say wait.
Okay, we'll wait a week.
that I'm curious about is why, like, all right, fine, he's up on charges. Why would that affect a website?
Because all of his moderators quit.
Oh, okay, yep, that'll do it.
Yeah, real quick.
So basically, he basically had to put up a like, all right, you know, look, this is what's happening, and I can't deal with
Site's
the
been up and
website right now.
Site's been up and down like a lot.
Wow.
The last
All right,
10 hours.
that's fair then.
Yeah, I
Okay, we'll wait. Man, that stat about how many Xbox Ones they're selling in Japan is crazy. Like, I knew it didn't sell well over there. I didn't know it was that bad.
Microsoft systems have always sold poorly over there. That's
Yeah.
why Sony is beating Microsoft at such a, like, by the margin that they are.
Right. Yeah, 50 versus 20K a week will do that.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Man, I've got to do a big vacuum now.
Someone important coming?
Yeah, Jen's coming for Yellow
Oh,
Con.
that's right.
But I mean, I gotta move everything and vacuum under everything.
Yeah, that's always a big day.
What do you got to do?
Do a big vacuum.
Oh.
Where I move stuff out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So we got I think a week till Stranger Things season 2 now, right?
Yep. Yep, 1 week.
I feel like there was really nothing to watch through this month.
Yeah, October's been pretty slow.
Yeah, and now with November, like a bunch.
There's a
of
new
stuff.
Patton Oswalt stand-up on
Is there?
Netflix.
Is there?
Yeah, sweet.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet, but I have
I
no
love Patton Oswalt.
hesitation on recommending it.
You know, have you
This is his
seen
first. This is his first stand-up special
Since his life?
died.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
good one.
Yeah.
Did you see the new project? I think on FX that he's involved with. Happy.
No.
All right, so it stars
Mr.
Christopher-
Happy.
No, Christopher Maloney
Oh, okay.
from Special Victims Unit.
Yeah.
The main cop or whatever.
Yeah.
He's basically like a fucking shitbag. I don't know like what his actual job or what that is, but basically the trailer like starts off with him trying to convince himself to shoot himself in the fucking head, and he does.
Damn.
And then basically I think paramedics basically bring him back, right, from like the brink or whatever, and now he sees a fucking like little flying unicorn, voiced by Patton Oswalt.
Oh.
That is apparently the imaginary friend of some girl who's been kidnapped. I think he's maybe a washed-up detective, is what it is, and is basically trying to save her with the help of this now imaginary friend. And it's like super like dark, and I think it's based on like a graphic novel or whatever.
This sounds an awful lot like that show that Elijah Wood was in, Wilfred.
Oh. In the fact that they both had imaginary friends.
And started off with an attempted suicide.
I don't remember that part. I watched a few episodes of Wilfred. It was okay. But this
Jim Jeffries is better than that. Like he
was that?
That was Jim
oh my
Jeffries
gosh!
as the dog.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was kind of like I don't think the material was written for him very well. Like I think if they let him, I don't know, maybe they did let him improv. I don't know, but there was something off about it that I was like, he's.
Which is probably one of the reasons why I didn't like I said, I watched a few episodes of it, but I was never inspired to go back. I don't know if this is a series or if it's just like a movie.
I mean, if it's from FX, I'm gonna guess that it's a series. 'Cause FX.
Right? Yeah, that makes the most sense. I like both Patton Oswalt and Christopher Maloney.
But even right down to the pairing of actors, that sounds like it's like the same writer or production crew.
Right, and that's the thing. Like I kind of want to be excited for it, but it also has a hint of like sometimes there's a good idea, but then when you see an execution, you're like there's some type of like Hollywood trope
that they like attach to it now that's just going to bring the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll watch it later. All right, guys. Remember, we want to hear your feedback about our proposal on Patreon, and yeah, thank you guys for supporting the show and for everything that that you guys do for the company. You guys have really helped us, get on our feet and start to take some opportunities. And now it's just, it's not even. I mean, it's not even really a question of funding for Limit Break Radio. It's a question of content.
Yeah,
I think can we actually put together?
And at least for me, and I think I can speak for both of you guys too, is it comes down to workload. I mean, it might seem like, oh, you guys want to take away an hour of LBR, but I mean, you have 2 hours of Checkpoint now, the Checkpoint podcast. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and I'm not gonna promise it because then I'll probably make a liar out of myself. But if we don't have to worry as much about LBR, that might lead to some more streaming.
Right.
Well, I actually highlighted it on the post that just we love doing Limit Break Radio, but we only want to do it if it's the highest quality product it can be.
Yeah.
We don't want to put out a substandard product, and when we have to pad out 45 minutes of the last hour, that feels substandard to us.
Yeah, we also
We don't want to do that.
Even if we have like an amazing 2-hour show and then a shitty last hour that we had to force.
We walk out feeling like it was a shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if that hour is the difference between you supporting us and not supporting us, then we definitely want to understand why that is.
Yeah.
And we want to have a conversation about why you feel that hour is so critical to Limit Break Radio or your enjoyment of it. So let us know. Patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. All right, guys, that's going to be it for us. We'll see you on the shows. Bye-bye.